20,000 years ago, the world was a colder place. Across the northern half of the planet stretched an endless plain of frozen grassland, swept by freezing winds. And moving through that white world, in slow and steady herds, was one of the most magnificent animals that has ever lived. Covered in thick shaggy hair, with curved tusks longer than a car, it pushed through the snow in search of food. This was the woolly mammoth, a giant perfectly built for a frozen world. And for tens of thousands of years, it ruled the Ice Age. The woolly mammoth is the great icon of the Ice Age. But unlike the dinosaurs, the mammoth is not lost to deep time. It walked the earth astonishingly recently, and it shared the world with our own ancestors. We know this animal in extraordinary detail because some of them have been found frozen and almost perfectly preserved in the ice. In this video, we will discover how the mammoth survived the brutal cold, the world it lived in, why it finally vanished, and whether science could one day bring it back. The woolly mammoth was, above all, a creature built to survive the cold. It was roughly the size of a modern Asian elephant, around 3 meters tall at the shoulder and weighing up to 6 tons. But almost every part of its body was shaped by the Ice Age. It was covered in a double coat of hair, a long, shaggy outer layer that could reach a meter in length over a dense woolly undercoat. Beneath the skin lay a thick layer of fat for insulation. Its ears were small and its tail was short because small extremities lose less precious body heat. Even a flap of skin could cover the tip of its trunk against the frost. Every detail was an answer to the cold. Its most famous feature was its tusks. A large male's tusks could grow over 4 meters long, curving dramatically upward and inward. They were not just for show. Mammoths used their tusks to sweep snow off the ground to reach the grass beneath, to dig, and to fight rivals. The trunk, like an elephant's, was a versatile tool for gathering food and sensing the world. And inside the mouth, huge, ridged, grinding teeth worked constantly, wearing down against the tough, gritty plants that made up the mammoth's daily diet. To feed an animal of this size, the Ice Age provided an entire world. Scientists call it the Mammoth Steppe, a vast, cold, dry grassland that stretched across northern Europe, Asia, and into North America. It was at the time the largest single environment on the planet. This frozen prairie was rich in tough grasses and herbs, enough to support huge herds of grazing giants. Mammoths most likely lived much as elephants do today, in close family groups of females and young, led by an experienced older female, the matriarch. The adult males roamed alone or in smaller bachelor groups. It was a social, intelligent animal, and the woolly mammoth did not share its world only with other animals. It shared it with us. Early humans lived alongside mammoths for thousands of years. They hunted them for meat, for hides to keep warm, and for bones and tusks. In some regions, people even built shelters from mammoth bones. And on the walls of caves across Europe, ancient humans painted the mammoth again and again, careful, detailed images that show just how important this giant was to the people of the Ice Age. So what happened to the woolly mammoth? Around 10,000 years ago, the Ice Age came to an end. The planet warmed, and as it did, the cold, dry mammoth steppe began to disappear. Forests and wetlands spread across the land that had once been open grassland, and the mammoth's vast feeding grounds shrank away. At the same time, human hunters were spreading and growing more skilled. Most scientists believe it was the combination of the two, a warming climate destroying their world, and steady hunting pressure, that pushed the mammoth toward extinction. A small population clung on, isolated on Wrangel Island in the Arctic, until only about 4,000 years ago. But the mammoth left us something the dinosaurs never could. Because so many died in the frozen ground, their bodies were preserved in the permafrost, and not just bones. Scientists have uncovered mammoth remains with skin, hair, muscle, and even stomach contents still intact after tens of thousands of years. From these frozen remains, researchers have recovered fragments of mammoth DNA, and that has led to one of the boldest ideas in modern science: de-extinction, the effort to bring the woolly mammoth, or something very close to it, back to life. It is a real scientific project, but it also raises difficult questions about whether and why we should resurrect a creature the world left behind. The woolly mammoth was a masterpiece of survival. a giant shaped entirely by a frozen world and a companion to the earliest chapters of human history. Its disappearance marked the end of the Ice Age itself, and today it stands at the center of a new question: not just how a species dies, but whether one can ever truly return. If you enjoyed this journey into the Ice Age, consider subscribing. In our next video, we will explore another lost giant of Earth's history. Thank you for watching.